Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, hopefully everything's coming through okay in terms of the audio. That would be magnificent if it was indeed. Hey, Donavad, good to have you, my friend. Yes, today we will be playing a little bit more of one of these two, so I look forward to that. It's been a little while since I played it, and I'm raring to go. Positively raring to go. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and show you first is not just my cluttered, like, what are you going to call it? But I have downloaded this version. The reason why I was doing the Grand campaign is because it didn't seem like the Berlin Stalingrad campaign was working properly, but we have had that now addressed. So you can see here, data and scenario changes, corrected the Soviet AI first turn script there for the Stalingrad to Berlin change. Sorry, for the Stalingrad to Berlin scenario there. So that's what we're going to be playing here today. Forgive all the clutter in the background. How you doing there, Lance? Good to have you, my friend. How you doing there, Corona Knight? Good to have you too. So yes, we're going to go ahead and play that. We're going to be going ahead and just using, just normal. The reason why I go with normal is because, well, I'm going to be assuming that most people will play normal, and also, in effect, that is essentially what you'll be playing when you play by email. The only difference is that you're actually facing a thinking, breathing, living opponent. So yes, we are going to be doing the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign here. The reason being is that the script should work here today, so we should see the 6th Army cut off. I tested it earlier on, as you will see, and as you can see by the number there. So it should work, which is going to be really quite cool, actually. It'll be rather interesting to have to deal with all the consequences of the 6th Army being cut off, really. So let me see, we'll go with, let's try message level 2 initially. I'm using a map mod, by the way. I'll go ahead and take a look on the, at the end of the stream I'll post a link to it, actually. But I really quite like it. I don't know, it's really grown on me. I think the biggest part is the fact that I just like how the swamps look. I like how things are crisp. The game, honestly, the actual vanilla map for 1v2 blew me away initially, because I was so impressed by it. Especially when it's compared to, like, the earlier iterations. Really fine piece of work. I think this one is definitely one of the better map mods out there. There's not tremendous amounts out there yet, but there will be in the future. Okay, so start off with the Luftwaffe Field Division there. Yeah, the 1st and 2nd Regiments there being forced retreat. Now, okay, 5th Guards Rifle Corps. Note that we have lost fortified positions there. Just... oh, that sees Veliki Luki isolated there, I do believe. I think this is in fact the city. Right, okay. So we see pressure here on the rail line. The rail still looks active, but we do not have a connection to Veliki Luki. They're pressing here in the heavy woods. That was light woods, yes, so that was light woods there. Which is why we didn't have a great time, so they were forced to rout, which is not exactly ideal. They do take some pretty nasty damage from that. Chrono Knight? Yeah, I really do. I really like it too there, Chrono. I'm glad you like it. Not that I made it, I just... nice to be part of the crowd. Okay, so see the Romanians here on the flank. Holding like lions, okay. They rout there. Loss is not tremendous, but they will have a lot of problems. Okay. Yeah, but you can really see the swamp and just the terrain features. It's really quite handy. Right, so we have deep penetration there and exploitation behind the lines. Okay. Remaining infantry. Ooh, they were effectively wiped out there. That looks like a complete loss in that unit. Remaining cavalry. Yeah, that's going to essentially be combat ineffective. Now, do note that both rail lines are cut at this moment in time, so you can see that we have this cut here and this cut here. Obviously, that's going to exacerbate any existing freight issues we had already. Alright, that's good to know there, Chrono. Yeah, there we are, so we can see those 6 armies now isolated around the city of Stalingrad. Right, fighting in the light woods there. They didn't do too bad. Obviously, we do lose that level 3 fort. But there we go. It's good to see that the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign now is working. properly, which is great. But no, I really like this. I just really like how it shows the woods. I think they look especially great. Oh, okay, look at that. So Veliki Luki is cut off by the rail, but is actually not entirely cut off. We still do have a hex moving onto Veliki Luki. That's actually really quite important. Something I do want to point out in regards to the game and when it comes to retreats, by the way. You suffer retreat attrition when, of course, you retreat, but when you retreat across a river, I think when you retreat across a minor river, it's either 1.5 times more casualties, well, sorry, either 1.5 times the retreat attrition or double the retreat attrition. I'm pretty sure that when you retreat across a major river, it's 3 times the attrition of retreat. So yeah, rivers are pretty nasty. You don't want to be forced across a river because you'll lose even more assets. How you doing there, Alex? We're gonna try and do that. I think we'll finally be able to use air transportation. And the only issue is when it comes to the weather. Like, let's take a look then. So we have our turn summary here then. So 31,326 losses here today, 587 guns, 8 AFVs. Okay. In terms of the logistics side, we have a decent number in the actual pool, which is quite encouraging, surprisingly. I think that's probably due to the fact that we have. I don't know actually. I always look at that and I'm actually quite envious, but I wonder maybe it's because I was in a different position. I mean, in this scenario here, we are benefited by the fact that we have all the rails essentially already repaired, which is excellent. Very nice. So the partisans are active. Allied bombing has increased here. Yeah. We have a ground setback in North Africa, garrison shortage in the Western Europe, and partisans again. Yeah. So, by late November 1942, the Axis advance of the Eastern Front had come to an end. Army Group A stalled on the Caucasus and the Terek River. Got a note, by the way. I forget the name of it now, but the city with the oil, the town with the oil in the Caucasus that we actually control, I forget the name of it now, but that is connected to the rail system, so I'm going to be really quite eager to see how that actually has an impact on our oil situation there. Hey, doing there, Vulcan? Good to have you. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at that actually, Alex. I think that's probably what we'll have to try and do there. So the German 6th Army continues the bitter fight in Stalingrad on the banks of the Volga. 90% of the city is under German control, but the Soviets still have small beachheads on western banks of the river. And defending the flanks of the 6th Army are 4 Axis allied armies which have been stretched thin. They lack proper training, leadership, equipment, especially modernized tank guns. Yeah, I've taken a look at the actual Romanian TOEs, and they have like some 25mm anti-tank guns. You're like, okay. No, I restarted the scenario here, Vulcan. The reason being that the script has now properly worked. So we do now have the 6th Army cut off, which is quite good. I thought that would restart with that, because that is... yeah. And obviously we are on a new patch. We are on 1.01.3. So I thought better to start again with the new changes and then we know everything works properly. But indeed, it's good to see that we have the 6th Army cut off, which, I mean, I say good, it's not good for us, really, but... you know what, actually? Saves coming detected. Oh, no. I thought I'd do the Stalingrad one. I thought I'd do that one. Mostly due to the fact that the actual patch says it works today. And it does, so quite happy about that. My cop, that's it, my cop. I'm going to turn that music down, just... yeah, this is the hell I live with. Like, if I was to have this on 100%, I'd probably deafen myself. It's so low, I can't even see the numbers. It's about a 1 or 2, which is surprising. Okay. So we'll take a look at the situation. Indeed, it is my cop. So yes, we have my cop here in the actual rail system. Yep, there we are. Have we got to be careful? Oh, I get it now. I get it now. That went over my head there for a second. I'm like, why? Am I mispronunciated? I'm like, yeah, no, I get you now. I get you. That's pretty funny though. Okay. So let's take a look at the actual production chart then. Oil storms. So 189 production. And that's actually oil produced there. I wish you could click on it and show you where this is being produced. I know you can look at that elsewhere, but it'd be kind of nice if you could do it here. Hey, Jackalus, good to have you. Right. Fuel need. 166k. Fuel production 176k. Oil use 193k. So as it is, it's not too bad. You can see why this actually keeps us going. Oh, we've got Major. How are you doing there? Yeah, you can see how my cop is actually really quite important there. Kadash Nadar. I love that name. Love that name. Okay. Now, it's quite good to actually be able to begin the scenario and see things really playing out as they did historically, so that's quite nice. And now, I had it requested, I think it was you who said it last time, Evoking, to keep the victory points on, the victory locations on, just so you can actually see, really orientate yourself on the geography of the front, I guess, is probably the way to phrase that. Okay, so we do have a shortage of garrison in Western Europe, which is interesting because we're 101% here today. Now, does it refer to the air? Possibly. Now, we do have a 1st and 2nd Stone Brigade here in our Axis Reserve. They're motorized units. They are, if I recall, they need to be built up to strength. We'll check on that in the reserve then shortly afterwards. So we've had a number of units actually just arrive here in North Africa. Namely the Tigers. I think I probably will bring those Tigers back. Yeah, where's Hoff when you need him? Yeah. Okay. So we had another Italian armor division. An Italian corps out there. The Panzers, the 501st, would be quite nice. Things like this are useful. I'm going to have them deployed at the corps level, I reckon. They're a very interesting unit. We'll take a closer look at them shortly enough. We will have a 503rd Heavy Panzer Battalion here. But yeah, you can imagine a couple of these battalions, and I think really having them concentrated is probably a good thing. Essentially, it's an armoured Pak 43. Is it? I don't think it's the same gun as the Pak 43, is it? Was it a Koenigs Tiger that used the Pak 43 or Pak 44 gun? I can't quite recall. I think they are a different gun, I think. I'm not entirely sure on that one. That's something I'd have to look up on, actually. My gut instinct says that's a different gun, but I could be wrong. It could be actually the same gun. But I'm not too sure if it's the same as the anti-tank. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Right, okay. We do have a transference of the 10th Panzer Division to North Africa there, and that's from Western Europe, so I think I will go ahead and actually cancel that. North Africa can wait around the Vine, for all I care at this moment in time. We do have a Panzer Grenadier Regiment arriving as well out that way. Yeah, so 160th Panzer Grenadier Regiment is reinforcement, so I can't cancel that until they arrive. We do have then an Italian Parachute Division arriving in Italy, which is good. The 321st Infantry Division transfers from Western Europe to the map. Stug Battery, okay. Panzer Battalion, okay. So, 10th Panzer Division. Ah. Interesting. They may not have actually arrived as of yet. Let's go ahead and double check that. Ah, yeah. Ah, that's it, yeah. The normal Tiger had an older version of the ATN. That's good then. I'm glad I wasn't just talking out my arse, and I'm like, I can't recall exactly, but I feel like it's... I feel like I'm on the right lines, but that's good to know. Okay. I mean, that's like turn free stuff, by the way. But let's see. 10th Panzer. Oh, you are here, actually. Oh, there you are. I just didn't notice you. Okay. I regret that now. So I'm going to clear the transfers for the 10th Panzer Division there. I'm going to keep them in Western Europe. The reason being, it is quite some time. Quite some delay to have them taken out. Like, if I was to have these... well, I can't transfer them right now because they're locked in the theatre. It looks like majority are here. Yeah, low defense values. So I can't really show what I was going to show, but I think it's about 3 or 4 turns to transfer from North Africa back into Europe, so that's something to bear in mind. I can understand why more assets are heading out here, but I don't know. I'm going to try and transfer more infantry if I can to Italy. Well, to Africa over time, that is. Hopefully we'll be able to rectify the situation here on the Eastern Front. And I'd like to try and draw back the Romanians and the Italians. Namely, give the Romanians time, I think, to recover. Even potentially placing them in the garrison and have them recover. The Italians are fantastic because obviously they can go to North Africa. But they also can go to the Balkans and, of course, to Italy. And even Western Europe as well, which is really quite helpful. And even the reserve. The Italians can actually do quite a lot with, they just don't have a lot to work with as such. That you normally get access to. So I'll try and use them for garrisons for the most part. The Air Forces, yeah, due to the low theatre, like essentially due to the low number of ground forces, I can't transfer them out. I'm not too sure how to explain that one. It just is as it is. I can't really come up with a reason for that one, but it is, so it is. Okay, the Balkans. Yeah, we have a number of units locked in theatre. Yeah, okay. It may be that I can't really transfer anything else out of the theatre right now. Until I get that up to 100. I think it's about 90%. I'm sure I read that somewhere. That it's a requirement of 90% before you can like transfer things out on the ground. So that's good to know. We can get some... Right, okay. To recover from what and to which date? That's so mean. Damn girl, you sassy. Okay. Like over here we're at 99, so I can actually transfer it out of here, which is good. Panzer battalions. I actually have in panzers in the great old French. Yeah, okay. T-34s. Excellent. Okay, we do have 388. Good idea, separate regiment there. Okay, 99. I'm going to look to transferring troops out and aircraft out last. As far as it goes for aircraft on the front now, they're not exactly active. Yeah, realistic. That's funny. Yeah, like right now we have cold weather in the north here. So if I take a look at the sky, yeah, you can see cold weather here, and we do have snowfall down here. Either way, it's not exactly something that we want to play with here. Is there a plan to rescue the 6th Army, or are you going to conserve strength? I've got to try and get the 6th Army out, really. I don't think there's really much of a choice. It is going to be a difficult one, and I think I'll probably start by addressing it down here. So much really does rely upon breaking out of Stalingrad. I don't know if I'll even surrender Stalingrad as such, because it's such a tremendously good defensive position. But saying that, let me go ahead and get these fortifications on. Yeah, as you can see, they've got level 3 fortifications on, like a urban centre. Even on the city of southern Stalingrad, well, the southern end of Stalingrad, we have level 3. And those are pretty nice. I mean, these are positions that are just, you know, superb. Absolutely superb. Hey, Dinner Michael Rule. Good to have you. Hey, Dinner Shu. Yeah. And that's not a bad idea there, Alex. That's not a bad idea. I might actually take a look at that. Send in the Italians, they're slightly better. The difficulty as well is that we don't have full mobility of all our forces here as of yet. But let's take a look at the actual situation on the ground, and let's take a look at the actual repercussions here today. So you can see obviously that we do have the destruction of the rail lines there. We do have a decent amount of freight. Yeah, okay. Now, interestingly, they actually do have 4,500. Yeah, that's a lot of supply there. Holy moly. I guess that's to simulate the fact that potentially build-ups or... Because I can't recall now, but I think the 6th Army obviously didn't surrender immediately. I can't recall how long it took for the 6th Army to surrender, actually. But they didn't surrender immediately. So that's good then, at least we do have some time to work with that. Obviously, I do want to open up a line of communication as quickly as possible. Hold Stalingrad and evac over time. We'll see, actually. Such superb position at Stalingrad. Yeah, exactly. Late January 43, okay. Or February, either or. Yeah, so we have that to work with then. So, Gumrak, what an amazing name. I imagine the thing will run out of first, it's going to be fuel. We do have a K of fuel over here. That's going to be the thing that'll run out. So it's like, in all honesty, we could actually have infantry hold on in this area. I mean, obviously, infantry require fuel as well. Nowhere near as much fuel, but they still require fuel. It's going to be the Panzer and the motorized units that we want to get out of here. Their combat effectiveness is going to deteriorate pretty rapidly. So we need to get them out. If I can get them out, then at least they can be of use. Okay. Yeah, there's quite a bit of supply actually to work with in the area, man. So that's quite good. I'm used to having just zero supply everywhere because it's like I've always been moving forward and I'll never really see it build up. So that's pretty cool. I'm just going to have a drink of my tea. I'm drinking tea, by the way, because I forgot. I went to the supermarket yesterday. I'm like, right, okay, I need a couple of things. I need to buy some milk. I need to buy some bleach, some deodorant, etc., etc., etc. And then I forgot to buy coffee. And I don't usually drink tea. I drank tea for about 16 years, actually. Obviously, discount, like, youth. And then I'm like, alright, I like coffee now. And then I didn't buy any, because I forgot, like a dumbass. So I'm drinking tea again. And I'm still not a great fan of it. I know, they're broken. Indeed. Yeah, that's it, exactly. Right, so we do have 16th over here. Now, by the way, sorry, we are in the air phase. As far as it goes, I could run reconnaissance over here. I think I'm going to actually not do that this time. The reason being the weather is just far too poor, in my opinion. I could have potentially fighters set to intercept, but I think we're probably going to avoid that. Okay. That's not just one mechanized corps, but two. There's a mechanized brigade here. And we have another mechanized brigade with a 6-star volunteer rifle there. Yeah, over here I've Velika Luki then. Really quite happy we managed to hold on to that, because that is indeed a city. Let me go ahead and double check. I downloaded the living manual earlier. There we are. Let me go to the end. Oh, is this just... Oh, these are like the... Where is it? Maybe I should look to the normal manual, actually. It's a little bit more attractive. Okay, but this works fine. So, wow, this is definitely not as pretty. I'll go ahead and get the normal one open next time. And we can see there we have a +2 from a city. So cities aren't exactly that amazing. They're about as good as heavy woods. But you don't have that dense rule in city, which is actually rather interesting, to be honest. I guess it's, okay, fair enough. I mean, we don't have towns counting for defensive purposes because I imagine they're too small. But then we do see that light urban, heavy urban. Yeah, obviously they're worth quite a hell of a lot. Heavy woods are great. Rough is really good. Swamps always good. Okay. Small groups held out after the official surrender. Yeah, I know. That's salient. Yeah, I saw that as well. And these are actually pretty effective units as well for the most part. They actually do have some decent combat effectiveness. So I think what we'll do then is, I guess I'll work my way down. We do have 2 hours here today, which is fantastic. And I am recording these. So I will be uploading the episodes as hourly installments rather than marathonic. Which is not a word, but marathonesque. Just marathon, I guess. Yeah, so in terms of air then, let's take a look. I do have this transport group over here. What I need to go ahead and take a look at first then is where I have my freight. Now, I'd like to believe that due to the fact that they do have stored freight, I can actually make use of that. So let's see, I've got my transport group south over here. I don't think I can transfer right now. Okay, we actually do have a number there. Okay. So they are based out here, actually. We do have these bombers here as well. Okay. Ooh. I mean, this is it, isn't it? Transport group. I do have other airfields. Vroclavgrad. It's having the freight as well. I think I'll just continue to work with this for the time being. I'm hoping that we're not going to need it. I think I can break this open this turn. But it is going to require having the armoured unit and the mechanized essentially making an exodus out of the city. At least the Stalingrad area. I am Not a great deal. I'm not a great fan of this here, really. Come on, music, get your ass in gear. Always does this, I have no idea why. There we are. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of free fortifications here, but the issue is they are just surrounded. It's really not worth it. We do have essentially like a perimeter around Stalingrad. I will try and pull back these defenders over this way, which is not particularly great, but it's like this position here is compromised. Granted, they have a river here, but they do not have a river here protecting them. The river right now isn't frozen, which is fantastic. You can see at the north here, there's quite a number of troops. We do at least have a river here to help us, but yeah, you can see that we are in a pretty bad position. So I think as far as it goes then, what I'm going to go ahead and do then is just run the air phase with absolutely minimal things. We do own Sevastopol, so yeah, there we go. And Odessa as well, which is fantastic. We do not own Leningrad, of course. I mean, I could go ahead and run the naval patrols out here in the north. But I mean, this is it. As far as it goes with the situation here in Leningrad, they have troops there. Now, they might be able to transfer in additional troops, but I don't believe so. I'm not too sure. I think they could, but it's never going to be that many troops. There was a part of me that once considered, well, maybe we'll just pull back from assailants around here, Leningrad, but it's like, it's just not worth it. We can pull back these two divisions over here that actually form something of reserve. And divisions like this, where they aren't required on the line. I mean, this is it. What is this position buying me? It's not really buying me anything. I can't kick them out of the swamp over here. It's just too nasty. But I have some superb defensive positions here to work with. So, I mean, well, Leningrad is fine. We can keep Leningrad bottled up. And we can work with this over here. I do want to make sure that the Soviets still keep attention over here, because it means that we can actually try and grind some of their numbers down, or at least try and take some of their focus elsewhere. But I will try to make this work. But we do have superb fortifications here on this line, so I can work with that. I can make that work. So we're going to go ahead and run through then. I don't think there's anything I can really do of note here today. What about that? Bot message. Once we reach the subscribers goals, we will add DLC to the Swift store. Oh, okay. I've never actually used it myself, but essentially, the time that you are watching the stream, you do accrue points from said viewing, which you can actually then spend in the Slytherin store. So, it's pretty cool like that. I've never done it myself, in all honesty, so I can't give you too much more. Okay, so, if we take a look then, we do have 270, we do have one 11th there, sorry, as well. In terms of general numbers, let's see. So if I go ahead and take a look at this then, showing the defensive values, you can see there 77 defensive CV, 36, 64, 70, 100 here, at least 100, 36, 39, 39, 31, 10, because we only have a regiment here, 46, 29, 10, and apparently 1 there. Yeah, I mean, this is a Luftwaffe field division. They really have no business being out on the front lines here. 60 experience. I wonder if that's actually, yeah, it looks like they have less experience than their actual, here. I'd never know how you really pronounce the damn thing. But okay, that's something that we can actually address here. They're withdrawn in free on turn 3 there. I am going to cancel that. I wish I was maybe like cancel net transfer rather than cancel all transfers, but that's okay. So if we take a look at the actual situation here, then we do have forces to actually work with. Yeah, we have Blue Division here. I do have the Latvian motorized there. Okay. We have some Dutch forces up over here as well. Dutch SS. Additional Luftwaffe. Yeah, in fairness, the Luftwaffe, send the Luftwaffe divisions to the other fronts. That's not a bad thing to consider. What I was about to say regarding the Luftwaffe as well, I could have them actually just used for this sort of purpose here to keep units bottled up. We do have a free division there. In terms of, yeah, we could potentially do that. I mean, that might be like a usage for them, or even just for the gas and that sort of thing, really. But even so, they are still equipped as German units. They still have such things as the 75s. They just don't have many of them. They're not particularly strong units, but they are still German after all, so they are usually tougher. Okay, 5th Mounted Division there is a very important unit. I do have a security division over here. A security division is an interesting one. And they actually do have some numbers to work with, but not particularly many. They should be at 9k. Okay. How is the actual... let's take a look at the garrison here. 103. So we're actually okay on that. That's something. Okay. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do then is just try and fix the situation. I do have 20th Motorized. They have no business really being up here now. Granted, we are in winter, so that's something I'm going to bear in mind. It is the second winter, so it's not as bad. But I do need to bear in mind I will have losses of AFEs. Can I see that reflected here during the logistics phase? Right, so during the first logistics phase, we can see that we had only 1 AFE loss here. That'll probably increase as time goes on. It's not going to be as bad as the first winter, though, thankfully, so that's something to work with. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do then, so we have... okay. I probably... How are we actually looking? I think we were completely overburdened on... Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, they're really overburdened. If I go ahead and take a look at the commander's report here, if I go to... headquarters, perhaps. And if I just go ahead and take a look at... let's take a look at Army Group then. Right. North has 3 spare points. A has 29. Don has 108. I'm going to have to use that to try and rectify things here, really. Center there. And B. B and A were the old South. And then we have Don, which I can imagine was part of South as well. At least we do have 3 army groups there. Interestingly, I don't have Antonescu, which is interesting. Right. But I can divvy things out there. How you doing, Dennis? Good to have you. Hi. Jorgen Jovi. I guess... Can Jovi yakata desu? I don't know. Can Jovi ni yakata desu yone? Something of that nature. Okay, let's take a look then. You are 2nd Panzer Army. You are attached to Army Group Center. Okay. We need to figure out how we're going to message. Well, how we're going to get this. Army Group Don. Yeah, actually, I didn't take a look at that. Where is Army Group Don? Have Army Group A. Yeah, well spotted there. Von Rundstedt. Oh, that's OBUS. Don there, led by Van Manstein, is here. Interesting. That's cool. Right, okay. That's pretty excellent then. Okay. Yeah, that really does help us out then. So how do we want to do this then? So we have Army Group Don then. That's interesting. And the interesting thing is, it's like, is it worth having Van Manstein in this sort of position? But at the end of the day, it's too many APs to transfer them out. Where do we have the other army groups? Yeah, you're attached to Army Group Don. So we have a core headquarters in Kharkov. Army Group B. Okay. Where is A? A. Ah, okay. Right, okay. That's fine by me then. So essentially we have Army Group A then taking care of the Caucasus. We have here Army Group Don taking, shockingly, control of the Don. I can work with that. That definitely does help us out pretty significantly. So you're currently attached to Army Group B, which is not exactly great. So 4th Panzer Army can be attached to Army Group Don. Okay. 6th Army as well will be attached to Army Group Don. Currently they can't be, but in time they will be. Right, I do have my rail repair. We do have 11th Panzer there. They're locked in position, however. Over here we do have 22nd Panzer actually, as well as an unready Romanian. Okay. So, what we need to take a look at then is how we rectify the situation here. Now, granted, I'm not going to be able to move far here at all. So if I can, I'm going to try and move within these actual fortified positions. Otherwise, we are truly lost. So if I can reform them into their constituent divisions, then at least I do have just a slight bit more chance. So we have 44th Division there, and that's not going to do much, but it's certainly going to do more than nothing. Okay. Now, they're just not going to be able to do much at all here. I could shift back there, but it would doom the 376. It could even be a necessary sacrifice. It sounds horrific, but it could be potentially done. Yeah, that's something to bear in mind there. Take a look at the forces then. There's not that much in the way of pressure here, in fairness, so they probably might be okay. Okay. I mean, we are playing like a scenario, but okay. Right, so we can see that this is actually open. That's good to know. I think what we're going to try to do here then. Let's see. Now, in terms of the ways out of this, this would be preferable. If I could go something like this, that would be great, because then I'm not dealing with the rivers. But how does that look in reality? It's really a no-go in reality. I mean, it could be potentially done, but with all this under control being generated by the core and different units over here, it's just probably not feasible. It could be potentially attempted though, but then it's one of those, isn't it? It depends on really what we can manage. We do have motorized. I am going to be taking the 60th third. Essentially, anything armored and motorized is going to be shifting south. I will try to open this up from the south then, or at least try and make it work. Now, you're attached to 4th Panzer Army. Okay. We do have you under 4th Panzer Army as well. I could bring them back over this way just to even try and check things out. Or even just try and act as like a holding force, perhaps. Or a blocking force. I'd rather have them as a division, but then they're not going to spread out too much. Right, okay. So we do have a 4th Romanian there. 3rd Romanian, which is under Army Group B there. We do have a Luftwaffe Field Division here. Yeah, okay. Cavalry that we can't really do too much with. So in terms of reactive forces, we do have a 22nd Panzer Division. Now, granted, they could move on this way. They could even actually launch a attack against whatever this is. I'm going to assume it's potentially... it could be a armored brigade, it could be a corps. It could be any number of those, but at least we'd actually be able to attack it without the impediment of the river. That could open up at least your station. Yeah, which is at least something. I do have some German forces over here. We do have Romanian forces here as well. Oops, I didn't mean to save. I meant to like click onto F actually. Fortifications here. I could maybe fall back across the river here, perhaps. But then the thing is, I'd lose out on these fortifications there, really. If it's that south, it might be a tank division. You know, I've never had anybody like properly. I've not had anybody heckle me for a while, so this is actually quite curious. It's like when you go to like a supermarket, you get asked for your ID, you're like, this is strange actually, but okay. I'll take it. Right, let's see then. What do we have in terms of cores outside the pocket? I know that we have a core out this way. Not there, we have one over at Kharkov. So they can't quite make it within range. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be counting, in fact. I don't really have... Oh, I thankfully do have a core here, then. So we do have this Panzer Corps. Oh, that's good, then. Ferdinandheim. He's not exactly cracking, is he? At least it does have some support there to work with. Yeah, I may just have to bring Romanians down this way just to act as something. Or even potentially shift some German forces off the line. But the thing is, this line is going to eventually collapse. It's going to eventually collapse anyway, really. So there's not too much we can do there. Okay. So if we take a look at actual things over here, then, we could potentially start with attacking there. You're onto Army Group B, but I'm going to have you attached to the 4th Panzer instead. So 4th Panzer Army there. I'm going to have 4th Panzer Army set as an assault army. The reason being is I'm not exactly going to dig it in with them. But having that higher level of command capacity is actually pretty important. So, also the increased combat preparation regain. So I'm going to have you attached to the 4th Panzer Army. Right, so 4th Panzer Army there. You become a glorious shade of salmon. Or is it more like a magenta? I guess it's more like a... I guess it's like a pink or magenta. I guess that's a pink. Yeah. A bit too dark to be a salmon, isn't it, I guess? I'm going to say like probably like a magenta or something. Okay. 4th Panzerwehr is led by Erich Brandenburger, which is actually a fairly good commander there. Can work with that. We do have some AA in here. And I'm going to say that those are independently assigned, yeah, to the 4th Panzer Army. Okay. Hey, Dunab Pixel, good to have you, my friend. Okay, I could potentially do something here. I'm going to be looking at that unit there shortly thereafter. So in terms of actual rail, they're not too bad. Obviously you can see that there's pressure on these lines here. But we still have that. You can see there's obviously pressure down here. But we can work with that. I think what we might potentially try to do then is, let's see. I do have these unready Romanians. I do have a Romanian infantry division here. I do have these Romanians over here as well. There's not actually that much over this way. I do have Romanian cavalry here, which is interesting. And it's going well. We're just playing the Berlin Stalingrad campaign here, just on the first turn essentially of said campaign. Just trying to really figure out how we want to do things. I need to gather some information here. Of course, we did have snowfall, so I wouldn't have really gained much in the way of reconnaissance. I do have a cavalry division, which can't move up too far, but they still project us under control if they're ready units. I don't think unready units do so, actually. I think that we can rectify the situation. I think it can be done. I think we do have that ability, and I think we just need to choose where we go, so go for it, really. Let's just take a look. Let me bring up the actual drawing pen. What I'm kind of thinking is that we have a mechanized unit over here. We know that this is a motorized unit, but it looks to be fairly weak as far as we can ascertain. I know I can actually attack a unit over here then. I mean, that Panzer Division isn't that strong, but I could maybe give it some support elements to make it a little bit beefier, perhaps. I do even have potentially other elements that could maybe move up this way. But what I'm kind of thinking is that we maybe try and make it out this way. So if I can try to get rid of this, which I can move across over here, I have that to work with. I can attack that. If I could route it, that'd be amazing. If I could just force it to retreat, but routing it would be exceptional. Then try and move this way, perhaps. If I could knock that out of the way and just try and gain something open, a corridor that's open, I could then try and use the major river here. Maybe to shield, perhaps. This side's going to be a difficult one here. I'm not going to be able to easily do this, am I? So we are going to have to take it week by week, really. So I think that's what we're going to try to attempt. So I do have a couple options. I could attempt to move here first, but I think I'd rather see what could be done first and foremost. But let's take a look at what we could actually do here to assign to it. So I do have a Stoke Battalion. I do have Panzerjäger Battalion, which comes in at least somewhat handy. We do have motorized flak and AA regiment there, Romanian. Light flak, mixed flak, motorized flak. I'm not seeing mixed flak. They might have some 88s, but I was looking for 88s really. Pioneer, which is at least something that can actually be useful. Now, they don't have qualifications, which is a good thing. So that's a very good thing there. Soviet mech units have more staying power than tank units usually. That's good to know. Okay. So I guess what we could try and do then is get things rolling then. In terms of positions then, let's see, so F. I don't really like giving up fortifications like this. But in all honesty, yeah, I mean, this is easily going to hold. I could potentially take, like, 2 divisions maybe out of here, perhaps, and maybe have them cover this position. I don't know if I really want to give up this position here, but it's like, it's something I could bear in mind. In fairness, I could have the 2 divisions shift out over here, and hold this northern edge, and then have these 2 divisions move into the city of Stalingrad. And yes, we abandoned level 4 fortifications, but we then move into urban. which, yeah, it's level 3 urban too, so that's like, if I go back over here, urban, I guess it's light urban, so it's like plus 12, plus 3, but it's actually isolated now, so it's like plus 3, but still another 3 on top of that, so it's plus 3, sorry, plus 6, and then we have a double down, so yeah, that's fine. We just need to break out of here, because right now we're obviously isolated, and isolated means a lot of these fortifications just will fall apart. West of the river. That's interesting, like this way. I can kind of see why, actually. And I guess because you can actually bring forces up this way. I guess the only impediment is the river there. And we'll take it as it comes, really. See what we can manage. I do have that unready 18th regiment, at least I can actually place that there to take control of that hex. But what I'm going to go ahead and do then is go with the plan I stated there. So I'm going to have the 389th move into this position here. The 79th is going to move into that position there. The 305th can move here. The 94th can move here as well. I mean, this is it. It does sacrifice at level 4, but I'm not really benefiting from that. So it does mean that I have 60th motorized and now 3rd motorized actually released from battle. Okay. Where's your core? Your core's at least in here. He's good on the infantry, not so fantastic on the armored. We have you in here. 3 and 6, not particularly great either. I do have a Hans Huber. Right, Hans Huber is actually pretty good. I can work with that. So 6 army here. I know they're evoking, but it's one of these. I need to try and break out here. At least by this. I mean, yeah. It's like it's great, but I can hold that. Possibly, I don't know. I can at least hold that for now. Or even just delay them. That'll still work. It does also mean that we have these forces now freed up. We'll see. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then, let's see. So we have Friedrich Paulus over here then. Okay. It's tempting to set them to a assault army. Now they won't dig in as quickly. But I don't think that particularly matters right now. I could have them set as an assault army so we can actually have an increase. But I don't know. I think I can resist that. Possibly. Let's see. So Hans over here. Yeah, that's the only issue is that they can't be given over to the other forces really. But 6th army already assault? No. No, it's not. I was reading the wrong number, so it's over there. Right. You can handle a little bit more. Right. Hold on 1 second there, guys. Let's see. Right. There we are. And that's a timeout there. Excellent. Okay. Right, we'll go with that then. I think what I'll go ahead and do then is I need them assigned to... Yeah, infantry there. What I'm going to go ahead and do then is, so XIV Panzer Corps then. That gives us at least somebody who's like pretty decent. XIV, okay, I can work with that. About 14th, in other words. Right, there we are. Alright, you're already on that command. You're already under that command, that's good. Right, at least that gives us somebody who's a little bit better when it comes to actually handling that sort of unit. Now, you do have infantry assigned to you. What I'm going to do then is ally. So 51st can handle the infantry. Okay. Right. So, you're still over slightly. Ally. They may just be over. Yeah, it looks that way. Okay. So that gives us somebody that we can work with now. Now. I do have a 295th. Maybe I do move that way. It would see that division damned, and I really don't want to damn a division. I think we can break out of this, but I think it's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so I do have a Yake division. I have a 71st division there, and they quite reinforced. I could shift 295th down here, perhaps, or even... Oh, okay, so I do have some infantry here as well. So 371st there. Okay. And then under the command of the 4th Corps. 7 there. Right, okay. I do have some Romanians too. Oh, I was going to say I thought I had 2 divisions there, but no. Okay, we can work with that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I can shift the force down this way to hold that. That can be done. So I could go for 7 here, or 7 there. 6 there, or 7 there. I'm going to go ahead and take the 371st and the 297th here. Well, actually, what we'll do then is we'll take the weaker unit first. I'm going to take the 297th. They actually do have more mobility here, which is interesting. Well, we'll take the 371st then. Shift them back. Okay. Odds don't look especially great right now. It's actually... So it's actually part of a corps, but it's actually a brigade. Okay. Can you fortress city like the Russians? Yeah, we can... we can fortress city. I think we can't right now. But you can do that sort of thing. I tell you what I'm going to do here. I think we can break out. I'm going to go ahead and make the 6th Army an assault army. The reason being that it does fix the actual command issues for the time being. I already have the fortification, so I can work with that. Okay. Now. They're not ready. They have fatigue there. That's only a 2. That's a 9. They just don't dig in as quickly, if I remember correctly. So 7.3 there. Okay. I could shift you there. Then what we're going to do is take the 76th Division here. 76 can join the 4th. Okay. Now, that could be overkill there. From what I saw, people bring most of the armored units from other arms to try and break out with that. I think we can break out with what we've got here in this turn alone. But yeah. Let's see. What does the actual core HQ have here? I could actually have this now placed under the command of the 6th Army. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we'll take the 4th over here, have them placed under the command of the 6th Army. Now, 6th Army then is just ever so slightly overburdened, but not by much. 4th Romanian Corps, which is under the command of that army. Okay, so we're just slightly over, but we're okay. But at least they're all working together now as a single army, effectively. So that means I can actually employ support units from this area now. They have no fortifications, so I can work with that. I'm going to go ahead and issue the 861st Howitzer Battalion here, which is going to bring the guns up in the 4th there a little bit. I do have Pioneer. Pioneer is a very interesting one. I'm not really attacking fortifications. They're mechanized, but they don't have that much in the way of actual armored units. So I think I'll save the actual Pioneers when we attack something maybe armored, perhaps. Well, mostly because they have that, like... Then again, they are pretty good like that, but we'll see. So we have a capability to attack here with all 3. Now that's 11 to 11.2. I think we might be able to manage that. Gott mit uns. Gott mit uns. Gott mit uns. Something of that nature. Jaeger. 8k. Right. Okay, Croats. I mean, that's 2 units in here. That should easily hold for the most part. As you can see there, pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do then, 50. Take them. Even here, I have like the Croat reinforced. Which I'm going to shift down here. Not a great deal there to work with. And I do have that. We're going to see. I'm just trying to make sure we can actually hold something there. So, 4th Corps. Oh, do I give it a shot with that? Is there anything else I could maybe... I could shift the... Well, I can't really shift them. I could shift them that way. Apparently the Remainers could actually beat that, which is impressive. I could form the motorized. But I think if we can't do it with this, I'm probably not going to have much of a chance. I could move that way and then bring up another division, or even move that division possibly in this area, but we'll see. Okay. I think it's kind of make or break on this one, so we're going to try to accomplish then. And don't get me wrong, this could cause us problems, but we'll try and make it work. I don't think there's any air support available right now. Yeah, I guess we'll go for that. Oh, thank God, okay. Oh, okay, that's good. They actually retreat 2 hexes there. Okay, good, good. Very good. There's a lot of build-up there. So we can see then, losses are pretty small, 349, so we actually had a good amount there. So, not many AFEs, but they do have air support here, which is actually going to be a big issue. But we do knock them back, and we knock them back actually in the direction that I want, so that's pretty good. Okay, so that gives me the ability to then actually consolidate somewhat to the rear at least. I can't push forward, but I can consolidate in the rear, which is pretty good. Now, I do have this Romanian division as well, but I can't really move them right now. I could maybe move something here, but that gives us something of maybe something out here. In terms of air support, everything's resting? Actually, not everything's resting. I could take some of these off for rest. We do have air power in here, actually, so... we'll have them set for day. The weather's snowfall, so it's not likely that we'll have them fly, but... I guess if we can, then I guess we should. I mean, the enemy's flying after all. Who do they answer to? Fourth Liga. Just actually have them available then. Okay. Then at least we might have that available to us. So that's good to see. Okay. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do here then is end this episode. So Shift F4. Shift F3. There we are. Let me make sure that's recording. Oh no. I forgot my own hotkeys are. What are my hotkeys? Shift F4. I did that. Ah, Shift F4 is... Right, okay.